What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Wednesday. Uh, American Horror Story Freak Show, episode 11, episode Magical Thinking. Elsa prepares for her move to Hollywood. Meanwhile, Dell plots an escape plan for Jimmy. Drama. Um, right, so what happens in this episode? Pretty much that. Um, Starts off with. I remember how it started. But. Oh yes, I do. So, what's his name? Richard Stanley, aka the Gay Con Man. Um, Starts off with him telling Jimmy about how he's gonna take his lobster claws for, so he could get him a good lawyer, and so he won't die in there. Um, How's he do it? He gives him kind of like a poison. Doesn't say what it was, just to drink it, and it makes him throw up a lot. And he gets somehow they got a hold of an ambulance from the fire department, I guess, with one of the gay prostitutes that he was gonna have be a pretend to be a doctor to separate the twins when they wanted to be separated, but now they don't want to be separated no more. Um, so and then they cut off Jimmy's hands and sell him. Um, what else happens? They get into they got deep into more in depth with the twins this episode. Apparently now all they do is want to get laid, have some sex. Um, they keep going through the people, uh, like trying to find a good match for them in the within the freak show. They bring in, he's like a short dude, like a dwarf, and they're gonna kiss him, and he grabs Dot's boob, and then like French kisses bad, and she's like, I said, kiss me, don't lick me, but I am French. Oh. And that's pretty much all they do about that. Um, they go through like a deep monologue of them talking about they burn their diaries actually, and not burn their diaries, and I feel a lot closer, even though Dot's kind of heartbroken over Jimmy. Um, they burn their diaries and have no more secrets within each other, which is a pretty nice moment. Enter Neil Patrick Harris. Uh, He comes in as a traveling salesman selling little chameleons with the curly tail lizards. Uh, he also does magic, and he has also he's a ventriloquist. Um, he was in the war. He stormed Normandy, he said, and he's got a plate in his head. Um, Traveling salesman. The twins have like are sprung on him. Like they think he's the one. And when he looks at him at first, he sees two different faces, which at first you're kind of like, what? But then they explain it later. He convinces also to let him join the show as the opening act with either magic or his ventriloquism. She says okay, only because he's really good with numbers. He had a book with how much money he made and how much he spent and everything. So he's gonna do the booking and open the show. Um, and what happens? Dell visits Jimmy and sees what happened, and we find out that Dell's dad was kind of a bully to him because he didn't have the lobster claws, which was his family thing, and the nurses aren't feeding Jimmy. They just leave the tray of food, because she's bitter. Um, One of her friends was at the Tupperware party where Danny killed everybody, and they framed Jimmy for it because he was What was I don't know what he was doing at that place in the first place. It went over my head. I don't know if he was. I just don't know. He was wasted. Um, so then he gets into that, and that was kind of like, okay, this dude's gotta be stopped now. Richard Stanley, the gay con man, he's gonna kill him, and he goes back and asks for him with to Elsa, because like outside of Maggie and Dell, nobody knows that he's really a con man, um, killing freaks and sending them to the museum. Uh, Amazon Eve, she makes a pact, not a pact, but like a plan with Dell to bring Jimmy out. They're gonna do the strong man, strong woman act, like they talked about when Dell, or what Dell told Jimmy, and they end up smashing some police officers' faces. Dell got shot as well in that scuffle. Um, they don't say how Jimmy, where he went, how he, they just showed how them helping him escape. Um, you remember Maggie took Desiree to the museum in the previous episode to show Desiree what's been going on. Uh, so Desiree knows that, and she actually makes. I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is where the episode ended. But the other stuff happened that I'll tell you after this. And she's got like a gun pointed at Dell. Sit down, and she says, "Tell me who have you killed since we've been here?" And he just says, "Nobody." What? And then he takes a drink, and he says, "Just the cops. He did it to help Jimmy." And he's like, "Who else?" He takes another drink, and he says, "Ma Petite." And she says, "How?" Like, say how you did it. And he said he smothered her to death, and that's what I thought. Well, like, squeezed the life out of her. And then also shoots him in the back of the head, and says that's all I needed to hear, because Maggie showed her Malpatute's body and kind of like told her the whole story, I guess, but didn't show it, so I'm not 100% sure how much Elsa knows. Um, we know that they knew that Dell was in on it, so let's see what happens. Um, Back to Neil Patrick Harris's character. He's called Chester. Like I said, he was in the war. He's got a plate in his head. He's got or he had a wife, and apparently when he was in the war, um, his wife, or not his wife, but like their friend, or his wife's friend, I guess, moves in with the wife when both their husbands are at war. The cop is telling Danny at the end what happened, and apparently they turned into lesbian couple, and Chester's wife wasn't 100% lesbian. She's like bisexual, and they never let him join though, but because he was with the ventriloquist dummy, I think her name was Marguerite, Mars something, and I think Marguerite, and the puppet talks to Chester, so it's either the metal plate in his head, he went crazy because his wife cheated on him, and then he watched, and or he's got traumatic brain injury, which is possible since he was in the war and he's got a metal plate in his head. Um, so that happened, and he ends up hooking up with the twins because he saw his wife and the lady's name was Judith that the wife was cheating on him with, and that's the face he saw on the faces of the twins. So him and Marguerite, the ventriloquist, get separated over that because they let participate. I think they said, yeah, or contribute. So basically, he murdered his wife and his wife's estranged lover, but he blamed it on the ventriloquist dummy because he sees the ventriloquist as a person. It's the return of the girl with Down syndrome from the first season, and she's also in the Coven season. It's really cool that they brought her back. That's pretty cool. And so yeah, uh, the cop that Dandy owns now told him everything, and he's like, "What a sicko!" To talking about Chester because the cop or Dandy had the cop take pictures of Chester with the twins that spy on him to be a detective, and he's gonna get some payback on him. And then this is how it really ends. So the cops come looking for Jimmy, and Jimmy's not there. They don't find him. Dan or Chester's looking for Marguerite because she wasn't in the um, carrying case, and he finds Dandy on the merry-go-round. Which why is this freak show got a merry-go-round? But they do, and they've used it in a couple episodes. And Dandy says that he talked to Marguerite and she's running away because she's gonna tell on you and because of what she did with the twins. Like she's upset and he tells her where to find her in the big tent. She's eating grapes and she says she wants to be the main act because Chester actually bought the freak show. Jimmy and Dale had a discussion about buying it in the hospital and Paul, what was it? Paul, yeah, Paul's not dead, so that's cool. Seal Boy with the tattoos and the lizard girl Penny, um, he's not dead, so that's pretty cool. And he says he asked Chester about it because the freaks wanted to buy out the the freak show from Elsa, but she turned it down and said there's already another buyer, and he bought it for $1,000 cash, and so then Marguerite's there eating grapes, and she says she wants to be in the main act. He says, no problem. And she also says that she wants him to take care of the twins, and this time you're gonna do it. So he wants him to saw. She wants him to saw them in half. Um, and that's where the episode ends. It was a really good episode again. This season really picked up again towards the end. Uh, that's usually how it happens. You gotta get through the pilot and the first couple episodes. Give shows a chance. And usually they turn out good, and sometimes they don't. That's when you just go bail. I honestly don't know how many episodes are left. I'm guessing 4. So that'd be 5. Would make it 16. So maybe 16, maybe 18. But I kind of think 16 because what else can happen besides everybody dies? Like we already know Elsa makes it onto television because in the previous episode at the end, Pepper's sorting the magazines in the asylum and finds one that a Life magazine that says Elsa Mars still like owns the audience or the TV 1958. So who knows what will happen? I'm excited for the next episode. Subscribe if you would like to. Comment, discuss, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Peace.